The phone, how to handle an irate customer on the phone. It happens on a regular basis. Angry customers express their frustration by aiming their complaints at staff members on the phone. If you wish to be successful in any business, then you have to learn how to handle angry and disgruntled customers who may not have received the level of service that they expected from the department that you are representing. Before you devise your plan to cope with these difficult situations, it is important to try and understand the viewpoint from both sides. You are that initial point of contact with that angry customer, and they are actually expressing their concerns about the department and not about you as an individual. Try not to take it personally. You should also remember to come from the perspective that the customer is always right. Your aim should always be customer satisfaction, whatever the situation. How you achieve this is up to you based on your individual strengths and interpersonal skills. We will cover a few guidelines to help you develop your own personal strategy for dealing with angry customers. Actively listen. Let the angry customer talk through their problems and get it all out of their system. As they talk, make indications that you are listening, such as, really, etc. This step is important because the more time a customer spends airing their grievances, the more time they have to calm down. Allow the customer to express their opinions. Allow them to communicate their feelings however they choose, without passing judgment. Step in only if the customer becomes directly abusive towards you. Maintain your personal integrity at all times. If the customer is abusive, calmly interject something to the effect of, "I appreciate your frustration with the situation. However, attacking me will not improve anything. I would like to help you." Be sympathetic. Make sure the customer knows that you understand their frustration and acknowledge any mistakes that have been made. Recognize the customer's feelings about the mistakes. That is, how it must have felt to be the customer in this situation. Be empathetic. When appropriate, show empathy. Empathy implies that you feel the same way as the customer and truly understand their feelings. Using a phrase like, "I can imagine how upsetting that must have been," is a better way to phrase this. Ask questions. After they complete their story, ask about the facts and details of the matter at hand. Move into solution mode. Know when to ask open-ended questions and when to stick with yes or no questions. Apologize when appropriate. Apologies can often be interpreted as an admittance of guilt. There are 3 types of apologies that can be employed in these situations. Choose the most appropriate. The first is offer to try to fix the problem. Never promise to outright fix the issue, but always promise to try. If you make an attempt and fail, it will create further issues if you promised total resolution. Next, gain agreement on your resolution. Make sure your customer understands what has been done at the end of the call. Even if the issue is not totally resolved, gain agreement on the resolution that was reached. First example, total resolution. So just to confirm, I have walked you through reinstalling your application and now everything works, correct? Example 2, pending resolution. So just to confirm, we have decided that your plan of correction remained incomplete until you send in photographs of the repairs, correct? Third, write a clear, concise log of the incident. Document in detail every major point of the call. It is not important to note every single word uttered, but keep a point form log on an LIC 812 detail supportive on the Field Automation System, or FAS, of anything that may assist others who deal with the customer in the future. During the interaction with the customer's complaint, it is always important to monitor your own tone of voice and volume. Never raise your voice, as that can easily escalate into a shouting match. Having a consistent, calm tone of voice will subconsciously encourage others to do the same. If the caller continues to escalate and you begin to feel disrespected, then you must assess if boundaries have been crossed by referring to your ground rules. You should have established in advance clear boundaries for yourself. You do not want to allow yourself to get bullied, pushed around, or disrespected by the customer when allowing them to vent. While you cannot change people, you can always change your way of reacting to them. Define boundaries which you consider to be bottom line and should not be crossed, such as calling you a bad name, or yelling at you even after you repeatedly requested them to lower their voice. Verbalize your boundaries by letting them know their behavior is unacceptable and you cannot respond until they compose themselves. Next, enforce your boundaries by using negotiating agreement problem-solving skills, such as, "If you calm down, I'll do my best to help you," or, "If you calm down, I can get the information I need so I can better direct your call." If the caller continues to yell, verbally attack you, or make threats, it is not necessary for you to accept verbal abuse, profanity, or any type of hostile behavior. So when all efforts have failed to work with the customer, it is acceptable to end the call. First, let them know you are ending the call and why, if you can. These calls can be very stressful, so if needed, you should take a moment to de-stress yourself. De-stressing yourself from time to time is actually a must in the field. Even if you succeed in winning over the customer, you will naturally be exhausted and stressed. It is important for your own health as well as customer relations that you learn how to de-stress yourself. There is nothing like a hot cup of coffee to rejuvenate your sagging nerves, or take some time off to listen to some music or chat with your friends in the cafeteria. Apart from music, meditation and breathing exercises may be effective. However, these are only suggestions. There is no fixed recipe for dealing with stressful emotions. You have to find what works for you. If something happens to you physically, like an assault, then you definitely want to work with your licensing program manager on completing the CDSS Incident Report Gen 1311 and submitting it to the department's safety coordinator. Now you might be thinking, what's the harm if it's just words? Hopefully there won't be any harm, but in the event that something does happen, there will be a written record of the threat on file. It's the same thing with sexual advances. You might be thinking that it's just harmless flirting, but the potential harm can make it a larger issue. LPAs have been reprimanded for engaging in flirtatious behavior with licensees or facility staff. If an incident occurs that requires medical attention due to an injury on the job, complete and submit the CDSS Emergency Incident Form Gen 1363.
Now that you have concluded the exercise, let's recap some key points. Have a plan and plan ahead. Make note of your surroundings. Protect yourself first because the department values you.
For issues in your personal life that may be resolved or lessened by counseling, you may contact the Employee Assistance Program coordinators for both Northern and Southern California. And this concludes our Licensing Program Analyst Field Safety Training module that has been brought to you by the Technical Assistance Bureau Central Training Section. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact the Chief of the Technical Assistance Bureau or the Manager of the Central Training Section. For more information, come visit us at our Central Training Section SharePoint site. Please now proceed to the final exercise, which concludes this module and will be submitted to the Central Training Section. Thank you and good luck out there in the field.
Now it's time to apply what you have learned in a 5 to 10 minute exercise.